Guys, we did it. We completely blew past the 50 subscriber mark.
Holy cats!
This game had an update, and they're like, oh, we're adding proper controller support now. And all that has happened is that it has picked up my steering wheel controller and was like, oh, that's like a Xbox controller. So now when I press the gas pedal, it changes directions, and if I want to stop, I have to hold it in the middle. But I'm driving my cat. Here we go. Today's been pretty rough. Some of you are kind of observing that the subscriber special is coming out way later than it should. And that's kind of funny if you're watching the playlist of subscriber specials, because the last one was also delayed because my slave cylinder on my car decided to give up. And guess what happened this time? The slave cylinder gave up again. You know, the new part that I spent money on, it just gave up right as I needed to make a subscriber special again. I was literally like on my way to work earlier today, and I had to pump the clutch because like I kind of fixed the solution. I just kind of mashed the clutch pedal a bunch with the plastic tube barely held on to the bleeder valve and just poured all the brake fluid all over the sidewalk. It's fine. It's brake fluid. It's not like it's bad for the environment. But, you know, I bled it out, and it seemed like it bled it out correctly, and everything was fine. And then it wasn't fine right as I was about to, I was on the street to go to work, and I just realized the game has no sound. What? Oh no, now everyone's gonna yell at me in the comments that I forgot to unmute the application. Oh no. Unmute. It's fine. Anyway, what was I talking about? A slave cylinder. I was bleeding it myself. It was kind of doing well, and I made it to the street on work, and it failed on me right as I had a stoplight, and I was pumping it, and it was doing nothing. And unfortunately, in order to get to work, I have to go up a bridge that kind of is very steep, which, you know, like, can't get up that if I can't get into first gear. That's not a thing I can do. So I had to push my car all the way to a gas station. And then I went in there looking, okay, maybe they got some brake fluid I could just kind of shove in my car and bleed it there. And nope, it was just food in the gas station. So I was like, okay, that's fine. We'll just use the brake fluid that's already in there. I filled it all the way to the top because I knew I was going to have problems. So we'll just use what's in there. Anyway, I pulled into the parking lot. Well, I pushed it into the parking lot and had to do a field repair. And, you know, I would have been on time for work if I didn't have to do the field repair, but, you know, it's fine. Just, you know, had to spend 45 minutes in the heat with, you know, no air conditioning, because if I did that, the engine would have to be on, and I can't really have I don't want to touch the hot engine while I'm bleeding the valve next to the engine, you know, where my hand's up against the valve and the wrench and everything. So there I am doing a field repair, and I'm using the brake fluid, and it's like starting to turn black as I'm doing it, and that's not good for brake fluid. But, you know, in the end, I managed to somehow get everything working just enough for me to pull into the parking lot at work. And then I was told to go home because they're doing this thing at work where if you're late, they'll say, oh, we're overstaffed, when, you know, they're not, and they're actually understaffed. But, you know, the UPS isn't exactly known for, you know, being smart. But yeah, they were just like, go home, and I was like, okay, I'll just go home. And I had to sit there and keep pumping my clutch pedal until it built up more pressure, because there's a big, like, air bubble in there, because, you know, like, I didn't have any brake fluid on me, so I had to, like, improvise, and I wasn't watching the level, and it went down while I was bleeding it, and that's really not good, but it worked just enough for me to get home. So now I gotta figure that out tomorrow. Yeah, that's how my day has gone so far. Everyone liked the Casualties Unknown video. I knew it was going to be a hit. I didn't know it was going to be that much of a hit, but everyone liked it. And, you know, again, this is the 50 subscriber special, but we kind of blew past that goal. But as we were blowing past the goal, I managed to take this absolutely legendary screenshot. Look at it. 69 subscribers. That's perfectly timed and everything. And now we're at like, what is it, like 78 now or something? Something like that. We gotta get to 100. Why are you a different color? Get over here. Alright, you're gonna die. I don't know what your deal is. I got a thing. It's not important. Also, check out this rat.
Oh, shit!
Alright, that is all. The other reason why this video got delayed is because I was looking at a lot of Casualties Unknown videos, and it turns out there's a YouTuber I watch who made a Casualties Unknown video, and they mostly do Factorio stuff. I'm not remembering their name at the moment right now. I don't know why. I can't remember anyone's names any time I want, but like, you know, I can't, my brain doesn't let me do that. I can't remember names of people or anything, or places, and it's very annoying. But anyway, I saw his video, and then I saw, like, I was like, oh, he make Factorio, I remember him, I'll watch his videos again, because I liked him. And then I started watching other people's, and then I bought Factorio, and then I decided to make a base on an island on a death world, which was a big mistake because I am rapidly running out of iron. And this base was huge. I had to resort to like doing exploits with my flamethrower, and they couldn't get across the little gaps, and I was like taking them out here. And there was this whole project here that just went horribly wrong. What are you guys doing? You gonna get obliterated? I'm on the distant journey to find more iron. This might get us somewhere, maybe, but it's not very much there. There's like an oil mine down there, if I remember correctly, and uranium is somewhere also over there. But yeah, I got distracted with Factorio. It's a good game. Check out the abomination that is my chemical science. How much do we have? Oh, 18. Wow. That's faster than I thought. Got all my solar panels. I gotta like reduce resources as much as possible, because like, again, island with nothing else. This is the only resources on here. They're starting with supplies. These are like half the size they were. Alright, enough of that. I just want to show that off. Alright, let's get stoned on these rocks, man. Alright, rocking. We're stoning. There's a Betsy here. Man, I love how this thing melts bugs. There it is. Where's the thingy? Yes, help me. There's the thingy. Oh, hello. And you're dead. Alright, I think that's enough cheese. Alright, Betsy, you just stay here. Betsy, you pushed me off. We're gonna do the thing. Do it with the thing. There we go. Grab my thing. It's mine. No! Alright, we're almost there. It's somewhere around here. It might just be in that big room. Okay. No, it's above, I think. We're going to do it like this. Slap one of these down. Alright, that takes care of yes. Forgot how easy Hazard 4 is. Is this high enough? Or we have to dig manually? Is it really gonna force me to dig manually up there? There we go. I know I could just go around, but I'm doing it this way. Alright, where's that? We found the thing. I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it. There we go. It's a drill and an elevator. Here we go. Oh, I steal it. This is weird. It's like off center. This is really weird. It's off. It's not supposed to be this off center. Oh, it's just right here. Alright, enough of that. Anyway, I was thinking about doing stuff with live streaming. I went out of my way to start writing a piece of software in Scratch. Why in Scratch? Just because I can. It's like the bad piggy's contraption equivalent of programming languages. I like it for that. Although, as I was just about to talk about, the software, was experimenting with inputs. Look, it's actually tracking as I'm speaking. It's working. But also, the pedals, I just made it move for now. I'm thinking about doing expressions or something, because keyboard inputs don't work unless you're clicked on the application for some reason, but controller inputs work. So I was like, yeah, just use pedals or something. And yeah, for some reason the pedals make the eyes go up, and I'm still trying to figure out why it's doing that. I think it has to do with how I make the character move when the camera is on. The camera is not on right now. Well, technically speaking, it's on, but for whatever reason, the controller inputs bugged everything out. It's fine if I compile everything into a program, but like, it doesn't work when I'm trying to code on it, I don't get scratched sometimes. Sometimes it just breaks. It just does stuff, and then I just go, okay. Here, if we package the project, the air conditioner kicked on in retaliation. Hopefully that's not showing up in the video. So yeah, see, with the camera on, and when I compile it, it does work. If I move my head, it moves around. This is still a very early beta, and I might scrap it entirely if I actually learn how to use Live 2D, more quickly than I am right now. I'm still learning it, but if I get this finished first, I might just go with this for now. It works good enough. It's good enough, and it was a thing for me to work on because I like programming stuff. And yeah, something's off with the eyes. I was messing around with making the model move up and down whenever I talk, and I think it's throwing everything off. It's clearly not working. It's weird. I choose a really terrible coding language to make something slightly more sophisticated than normal PNG tubing software. Just slightly more sophisticated. The yelling thing is still not working. I need to tune that properly. I haven't done that because I was testing stuff, and if I yell loud enough, it works. I'm still tuning it. There's an actual tuning thing. It stopped yelling. Well, then again, I'm not as loud, but I might scrap the yelling thing entirely because it doesn't work properly. It never does. Maybe someday I'll actually program in a reasonable language like C or something, Maybe Python. I don't care about any of the other high-level languages other than Python. I don't like the Javas, you gotta put a semicolon everywhere. Does the enter key not work? Here, we gotta find a way to end this video properly. This subscriber video that's pretty weak as far as subscriber milestones go. It was just the 51. I threw this together without any thinking. But then again, why would I ever plan anything properly? So we're gonna make this something spectacular to go out on. All right, make sure you subscribe.